Hi guys, it's me from Cups, Things and Things. I have another haul that I wanted to show you. I went to some yard sales this weekend, so I did get some cool stuff. Let me bring you a little closer. But I got this whole bag of stuff. I went with the budget on Saturday and I did some shopping because I needed to get some things. So the budget for this weekend was $25. So I have this, I found this bag. It was $10 and the lady was a scrapbooker, but she went out and she bought all this stuff. But then she never got around to it because she's a student and she had 3 kids and a busy mom, so she didn't get a chance to use everything. But look at all this stuff. So there's a huge stack of paper in here, of scrapbooking paper, and I mean some of it even is still in the packages. It's never been opened. And then I got a group of stencils, so they're all different kinds, letters, leaves, all sorts of cool stuff, little like things that I can use in journaling, tags, those kind of stencils. So she had those. And then she had stickers. So there's tons of stickers. These are Valentine's Day stickers. And then heart stickers from Oriental Trading Company. And then she also had these too. They're albums, which I actually can use for journals. So those are cool. And I thought, you know what, these two together would probably be $10. So this is just a great value. What else does she have in here? And then she had a couple of those mini punchers, like a heart-shaped one. Sorry, let me bring this down so I can pull stuff out a little easier. Then there's this whole group of stickers, and they're kind of beach themed and all about me, and there's some kid stickers, but there's also some really cool like saying stickers too, like perfection and about love and journaling and that kind of stuff. So that'll be awesome to use. And then there's all kind of like these paper cutouts too that say happy birthday, and shape cutouts, and this goes with the suite of paper that's in there with ladybugs, and there's stickers for that too. And then I got these mounting frames, which are awesome. And you know, those can be pretty expensive. And then this beautiful textured paper. Look at how pretty that is. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it is textured and beautiful. And that page, and this one's textured also. But just beautiful little things. And then for card making, I buy a lot of these little pads at Michael's and Hobby Lobby, just to put behind, like, especially for like when I'm making cards, to put behind like writing and that kind of stuff. They work very well. So she has a whole stack of those too. So I think that that was a great deal for $10. Plus, there were like little photo stickers and little, you know, for your corners, little mounting corners. And as I said, there's 2 punches to a heart-shaped one, and then just the little punches that you get at the dollar store. What do I have in here? And here's more stickers. I mean, just a huge amount of stickers. And I kind of organized everything. And the paper is awesome. I mean, it's kind of, some of it's like themed towards like the scrapbooking for kids, but I don't mind. I can use that on my jelly print, and it does have beautiful patterns. So I'm super excited to use this, but I got all this stuff for $10 with the bag. So I don't think you can beat that, and I'll definitely use the bag. So that's one thing that I got. Then I went to the dollar store because I'm going to enter, I don't know if you guys know, but they're having a contest at Michael's, I believe, and the theme is Paris. Springtime in Paris. So I went to Michael's, and I'm kind of deciding what I'm going to do. I think it's going to have something to do with paper because that's what I want to do. But I found this Eiffel Tower stamp, and then these beautiful cards that I love. It kind of looks like a postcard, but they have all the different places in the world, all the most popular bridges and buildings. So it's really cool. I just fell in love with those, so I thought I would use those somehow. So I'm kind of getting ideas of what I want to do. And then, so I went to the thrift store after that, and that was $3. And then I found this really cool thing. It's a rubber type is what it's called. And what it is these little little stamps. So these are little stamps, and there's a little like a tweezer to put them in. But I actually got a stamp pad that works really well, and I just put my name and the date on it because sometimes when I'm working on my art journal pages, I want to stamp something, especially for the deconstructed art journal pages, because I'm sending them somewhere else. So I do want to mark them so people know that it's my art. But it's really cool. I just love how it turned out. So it took me hours to do this, and I had to remember like to put the letters backwards and that kind of stuff. But it works out very well. And it came with ink, and this was only 50 cents. And I can write messages and words and stuff. So that's kind of cool. Let me see if I can find a spot. But it has my name on it, which is so cool. So I love that. That is really awesome. And I'm just going to kind of finish it up here. Okay, so that's awesome. So I can write little words, and it has numbers and that kind of stuff. So that was pretty cool. I couldn't pass that up. My mom was like, it's going to take you forever to put those on there, but sometimes you can't pass stuff up. And then I went to Michael's, like I said, and I got some wax linen cord for journal making. So that was on clearance for $1.19. So that's kind of cool. And then I found these, and I think they're totally pretty, so I'm going to find a way to use those wooden shapes, maybe as stencils or something. I haven't decided. And then I got some wooden skewers, and this is a good tip for you guys too. If you need awls, go buy some metal barbecue skewers. You can get them at the dollar store. These are pretty large, but they really have a nice edge and a nice point because, you know, it's for skewering meat. So this is a good way to use an awl. You know, if you don't have an awl or a pokey tool, get some of these. So I bought a set of those. I do have a pokey tool, but I prefer to use these. So I lost the one that I had, so I just bought a set of them, and they were $1. And I do shop at a lot of different thrift stores. I love the Dollar Tree. I shop there a lot. But I also go to a lot of Chinese and Japanese dollar stores too. And it's amazing the difference that you can see in products. So definitely don't be afraid to go in. And they're always nice. I've never had a problem with going into a store, you know, where even if they speak a different language, you know, they can show you how much the total is on the cash register. And you're fine. And yeah, so just don't be afraid. Go out there and look in different cultures of stores and all that kind of stuff. You know, don't be afraid. You never know what treasures you're going to find. So I do go to Japanese and Chinese stores for stuff too, to try to find different items. Now I went to the ARC, and they had paints, and these are poster paints, but I'm going to try to use these on my jelly plate because you can use poster paints too. Just like regular paint, I use it all the time in my mixed media pages and that kind of stuff. So these were $1.99 for these three, and then it was $1.99. So these were $1.99 and these were $1.99. So that was $4. And they're $1.99 a piece, and they work really well. Let me show you. I can put it down on my mat here. I don't want to cover up the gold. That's my favorite. Yeah, but you can see. But you just shake them up good. And the paint's fine. I mean, let me show you here. It's a little bit more opaque than, let's say, acrylic paint, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to use drawing paper and everything for my jelly plate, so I figured I can get these big bottles of quantity paint, and it'll work. I can use it in my art. So I thought that was a good deal, and it works out really good. I think a teacher or something must have gave these away because they had tons and tons of these poster paints. So I think it was a teacher, maybe a kindergarten teacher or someone who or an art teacher who gave away their stash. And then I also got this glue. It's very old Elmer's school glue, but it works great too. Like, let me show you. It's like the original formula. I mean, it's probably several years old, but it comes out. It's really, really thick. Look at that. Do you see that coming out? But it works great. I tried to glue something down and it worked perfectly. And it's a huge quantity. Like, it's down to here. So that's a pretty good value. And this was only $1. So I'm excited to use that. That'll save me some money on glue because I use tons of glue. And you can buy the gallons of glue from Michael's and that kind of stuff. And I'll have to do that once this one runs out. But it's just awesome. So I'm so excited. So I got all these beautiful colors and we're going to use those on our jelly print. And then they also had a little acrylic paint that you squeeze out from a squirt bottle too. That was in one of the packets. So that's kind of cool. What else did I get? And then I got some of these little dies. And they were 69 cents and it was 50% off. So like 35 cents. And I'm going to try to make some sprays. I just try a lot of different techniques for spray inks to kind of see, or glimmer sprays, or the kind of sprays that you use for art journaling. So I'm going to try these and see how they perform too. But I've been really happy with the watercolor ones that I showed you. And I got these at the Japanese dollar store. Just because sometimes I need to mix a little paint with some gesso or something like that. So I think these will be great to have. So I found those at the Japanese at the Japanese dollar store. And then also these two. It's so wonderful. We have this big pretty Japanese market that just moved in our neighborhood. Oh, they have such great food. Like, I love the fried tilapia. It's so delicious. And I'm talking up a storm, sorry. But I mean, and just restaurants. And I love going into their huge store and being inspired. I love to cook, especially other cultures of food, like lime leaves and, I mean, Thai curries, just all sorts of stuff. I love to cook. So it's wonderful. And then it's really cool because at the end of their store, when you're walking in and out, they have like Chinese newspapers and lots of Asian lettering and that kind of stuff. So I always grab those and they're free. And I can use those in my art journaling. So they have these doilies. So I'm going to use these for my jelly plate just to make impressions. So they have those. So I got those. And then I went to the dollar store after that, and I got some duct tape. They have some pretty decorative duct tape in there, so I got those too, and we're going to use those. I already know what I'm going to use that for, so that's pretty exciting. And then they had this beautiful tissue paper, and they had like so many different kinds, but at that point, my budget was weighing down, so I could only get one, but this is the one that I chose. Isn't that pretty? I just love, that's going to make gorgeous washi tape and journal pages, so I'm in love with that. I think it's so pretty. And then I was watching Secret's video last night, and Cat Hand sent her a package, and she got this in it too. So I said, well, people must really love this paper, because as soon as I saw it, I said, that is so cool. I could totally use that for something. And then at the same yard sale that I went to before, sorry, I should have this organized a little better. I have to use a moving table, which is sometimes when my videos shake. Sorry about that. So the lady there had a heat gun. $3. So this is an embossing tool. She charged me $3, plus I got these embossing powders. Look at this. In all these beautiful colors. Just gorgeous. And I love to emboss. When I was in high school, we had a teacher named Miss Nuanis, and she let us emboss. So she had tons of stamps and everything, and she let us make cards for one of our periods. So we loved it. It was kind of like a study hall class, so when we had off times on Fridays, she would bring in her art stuff, and she'd let us play. So I love embossing. So I'm so excited to do that. And for $3, I mean, that's such a great deal. So I paid $3 for that. And am I like the only person that, like, when I go to yard sales, I don't even haggle. Like, I'm always like, that's such a great deal. You know what? Okay, I'll pay you that amount. And my mom's better at haggling. Like, she's like, oh, will you go down? And I'm like, oh. I don't even do that. And then what else did I get? That's something else. So then I went to the dollar store. And look at what I found. They have stencils there. They're paper stencils, but they're really cool. Like, they have really cool, like, little lettering ones. So I thought I could use these on my jelly print or just in my art journaling. But they're really cool. And then this one's like Alice in Wonderland inspired. So it has teacups and hearts and Alice and like little flowers and all. But it's $1. And then it comes with markers too. And they're washable markers. But how cool is that? That's cool. So I'm totally going to be using those in videos. But I was so excited when I saw that. And then I got a drawing pad, which is great because it's good to practice on these kind. I do have a mixed media pad, and I used a 50% off coupon and got that, but I kind of hoard that paper. So, or I use it to make the journals that I sell in my Etsy store. But I absolutely love this paper, and I'll use it. And actually, I think I'm going to tea dye it or something to make a journal. So I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with that yet, but that's okay. And then I also like to buy these big, huge pads. They call them art pads, but they really are construction paper. But they're good to tea dye too, and I like to play around with them. Plus, my nephew loves to draw on them. He likes to draw big. He doesn't draw small things, so he can absolutely use this. So I got some of that. And then at the Japanese dollar store, they have these finger paint pads. Which are great. So the paper is really glossy and pretty. So I like to get that one too. And this is really good for marbling. And we're going to do some marbling too with shaving cream, which is fun. And then I have another technique to show you too with marbling. So I'll make that video. I always have like 50 million ideas for videos. So I'll get to them all eventually. So that's my haul. I just kind of wanted to show you guys the stuff that I get because I love looking at haul videos because it's amazing, like, when people explain to you what they're going to do with stuff, or, you know, or you maybe wouldn't think of buying something at the dollar store, at a thrift store, at Target or something, or you didn't know that they had that. So that's why I love haul videos. I really like watching them. So that's all the stuff that I got. I think I did pretty well. And these are the pack of markers that come with that stencil, which is great. So, I mean, I can give these to my nephews or add them to the stash for the kids that I teach at my religious ed class, and they'll love those. Or maybe I'll give them one as a gift to someone at the church or something. But I just kind of wanted to show you everything, and that paint has dried. So you can see how it looks. I mean, I think that looks pretty well. And I like to water down my poster paints a little bit. But I mean, that'll work great on jelly prints. And I am going to use some of that pattern paper on my jelly plate too. And I'm going to do a video probably today of stencils and stamps because I really want to work with my jelly plate. I've been telling you guys about it, and then I want to show you all the stencils that I use. And like I said, I mostly use just stuff that I have around the house or stuff that I've made myself. So I'm excited to show you all that. So thank you so much for listening to me gab for 20 minutes. Sorry about that. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a good week. Okay, bye-bye.